with knowing the benefits of your health type, say I'm a parent and I have two children, and how much benefit would it be for me to know my child's health type in regards to learning, food, maybe even behaviours? Tell me more about that.
Yeah, so, well, it's a very simple conversation, and that is your child is most likely different to you. And they don't have all of your genes. They've got half of your genes and half of somebody else's, and then they've grown up in a different environment. There is a very good chance they have a different health type to you. And so their biological preference is going to be different to yours. And I'll give you an example from a couple that I worked with, and that is I had one client, she was a guardian, and she had autoimmune conditions, had them for 20 years. And we were able to resolve those within 40 days based on a personalized protocol that we used in conjunction with the medical team. Her husband, who was an activator, opposite side of the circle and a different health type, he also followed that advice as well. And he got quite sick and he lost all his energy, lost his sex drive, which was really important to him. He lost his excitement for life and was actually heading towards symptoms that represented depression. And so we then put him back onto what's appropriate for him. And it was quite different. She's designed for 2 to 3 meals per day. He's designed for 6 meals per day. Very different types of exercise, different timings of exercise, different times of bed. And when he instituted those changes, he saw a significant improvement in his health. So it was a really lovely crossover trial where we looked at him in an opposite versus him in the best profile for him. And I give that example because if you were to apply all of the same principles to your child, one of you is going to lose and one of you is going to win unless you're exactly the same health type. And so the question that I would ask you is, which one would you like to suffer? If you're going to provide everyone the same environment, which one, was it the child that you would like to have poorer health or yourself? And so that I asked that semi-facetiously, but quite seriously also, and that is because we need to recognize that our children are different. They have different preferences. They have different optimal nutrition requirements. They have different learning requirements. And if we treat them the same as us, there is a very good chance that they're not going to have a great experience of life. And what PH360 allows you to do from the age of 2, you can join the parenting course and you can get your child, all of your children profiled, which gives you an understanding of why they behave in a certain way, what kind of foods they're going to be best served, when that food is going to best benefit them, what type of exercise is going to be really supportive of them. And I'll give 2 examples of that just to make that rounded. I have a son, and he's quite opposite to me. He's a connector. His most important thing to feel great in life is social connection and fun. And if he doesn't have that, he feels bad. He doesn't feel good. He gets angry. He gets upset. He goes off his food. But however, when he gets a good amount of social connection and fun and enjoyment with no real purpose in mind, just fun and games, his whole mood lifts and he just operates better. He's a much happier child. And I understand now that if I'm not providing that attention to him, he gets stroppy, but it's not because there's something wrong with him. It's because he just needs something different from the environment. My brain, as a crusader, doesn't need that. I can operate quite happily in my office by myself all day with nobody else. And that's okay for me. Obviously, I still do enjoy human connection and all of that sort of stuff, but the need for it is not as high. So if I was to apply my standards to him, he would be incredibly unhappy because he's socially isolated because I'm happy in that space. Whereas, so just in that behavioral difference, that's very important. And then a client that I've worked with had a diplomat son who was strong, heavily boned, held a fair bit of weight, and a very, very strong child, and 2 brothers who were skinny and lean and really nimble. And the mum would send them all out for a run, hoping that the more solid child would lose some weight doing the same exercise as the skinnier kids, because they figured, we just got to get them out and push them and be more active, when in fact that is not the best type of exercise for this individual, and it just made him feel worse because he couldn't keep up with the family. And so we changed the type of exercise he was doing to more body weight resistance types work, which is completely appropriate for children. We changed the meal structure from snacking all of the time to a few meals per day, but bigger meals. We spoke about longer, steadier mornings where he doesn't have to wake up as early and can lie in a bit more while his brothers are up and into it straight away. And those changes were made, and his whole life changed because they were able to understand my child is different and this is how I can do something different for him. And so I would go back to sort of the bigger picture, and that is you probably know that your child is different. You probably know that your child is different to you. And even if they're not, they will be different anyway, or different to the other child in the family too. And so would you prefer to have more information or less information on that difference? Because how aligned they are to their natural state of function is going to represent or reflect in how happy they are as well. If they're doing the things that their body is designed to do, they will feel more at ease. That will make them happier, more amenable, more engaged family members. And this is something that we want everyone to have. You know, everyone chases the ultimate parenting answer in books that are written with this happened to my child and these are the things that I've collected work on average. And it just doesn't work for everyone. And you need to know the individual variation of your child to really give them the best start in life.
Okay, so is that something that the parents do with the child on their own and work out the system, or are they guided by a coach? How does that look?
So the parenting course is a self-paced course, and we also have virtual parenting course as well. You can be guided through in workshop style, and we also have health professionals like yourself, and in that frame. A health professional who has an understanding of the health types can definitely support you implement these things as well. So depending on your learning style and how you like to implement things, there's a number of ways you can go forward with it. However, we always know that having support, having a person there holding your hand is really, really supportive for most people. And so I strongly recommend that you engage with a coach that way if you want to, but if you want to do it by yourself as well, the resource is there too.
Yeah, that would be the same for the health type for themselves as well. Like, you know, obviously they're going to get better results with working with a coach that has a really good understanding of it rather than being the Lone Ranger and trying to figure it all out. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. So if you've got someone there looking over your shoulder and going through the experience with you, it's always far better. Absolutely.